Okay, there we go. So there's that, and then we go to hanging cutscene.
All right, but it's got to be something to do with that government boy.
We'll talk to him, find out what he knows.
Fucking is. Where is she, Marston?
Who?
Who? My daughter, you fucking scum. Where's Bonnie?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since after the fire. Why?
Why? Because she hadn't been seen since yesterday afternoon. You know, I don't think I can cope. If I lose another child...
Now, Drew, nobody's lost anything yet. I'm sure she's fine.
Oh, Mr. Marshall! Mr. Marshall! Come out, wherever you are!
Who the hell's that?
Hey, buddy! That be your next fucking mayor.
Even better. Good day, Mr. McFarland.
Get down from that horse, boy, or I'll shoot.
I wouldn't recommend that, mister. Not if Drew McFarland wants to see his Bonnie back in one piece. Hey, Mr. McFarland! This is a nice girl you got there.
Get out from there!
You know, part of me's got to thinking I should just marry her myself. Give her a baby and that.
What do you want?
That's better. I want Norman Deek. I want him set free. Then you'll get your daughter back, mister.
We don't do deals with outlaws, boy.
Yeah, you do. Let's not waste each other's time pretending otherwise. Oh, government themselves ain't much more than a bunch of crooks. This is the land of opportunity, mister. And I'm giving you the opportunity to get your daughter back before 15 friends of mine take out all their anger and their loneliness on her.
Where the hell is she?
Where is she, boy?
Bring Deke up to Tumbleweed in a couple hours. And don't get no funny ideas, or I will slit that horse throat myself. You boys have a pleasant afternoon. Yeah!
What do we do?
We do as he says. You and me, Marshal. Mr. McFarland, I'll get you your daughter back. I owe her that.
Please do.
I'll teach you some respect for the law. Hurry up, boy. Let's go. Quick as you can, Deputy. Make sure he's tied on good. Stay with me, Marston.
I won't let anything happen to her, sir.
Okay.
I ain't happy at all. And I already told you, I ain't with the government.
Now you say that, John, but the only thing I know for sure is who sent you.
They made me come here. They gave me no choice. That's your federal government, Mr. Johnson.
They come down here dressed as cocky as the King of Diamonds, talking a lot of flannel about helping us, about spreading peace and civilization to the West, but they brought nothing but trouble and taxes.
I agree with you. Wolves in sheep clothing, all of them. Rob you, then make you pay to have someone investigate the crime on your behalf.
People around here have been fooled into feeling protected, when they're worse off than they were before.
The fellas I know don't care about people. All they care about is lining their pockets.
Ill.
Why is this sorry son of a bitch so important to them?
Norman Deke Williamson's right-hand man. In other words, a glorified errand boy.
Marshal. I'll be back for you.
Bill Standards have slipped.
We already filled you with lead once, you ugly
Deke's the kind of man who's mean enough to be second in command, but too cowardly and stupid to ever be a leader.
Don't ever use that line near your deputies. You know, for his sake, they'd best not have laid a finger on Miss McFarland. What is this place we're headed?
Tumbleweed, a lonely, god-forsaken place. Some people say it's haunted. It was quite a town back in its day. Then they built the railroad to Armadillo and went clean past Tumbleweed. And that was that. Pretty soon, everybody had up and left. Now it's just thieves, smugglers, and bandits. Scum like Deke here. Oh, popular spot for lynchings, too.
Let's try to avoid that if we can, Marshal.
Yeah. I just hope you're not taking advantage of the McFarland, Marston.
They saved my life. gave me food and fed when they had no idea who I was. I owe them more than I can ever repay.
That's just they've been through a lot. Well, they're both vulnerable in different ways.
I wouldn't have been running in and out of a burning barn to save their horses otherwise.
I know you helped, just like you helped me. But you got your reasons for doing it.
It's no secret why I'm here, Marshal. I told you the very first time I walked into your office.
I trust you. It's just all this business with Blackwater and Williamson and the past. I don't know. Sometimes it's hard not to have doubts.
I understand. I never planned to be in the lawman business neither.
How is this mess supposed to turn out? Pinning an outlaw to do the work of a lawman. That's madness.
Ain't much difference between the two, as far as I can tell.
There have to be rules, Marston. Even you must understand that.
It's easy to make up rules, but they ain't much use if people don't understand why. Like my son, if I tell him not to do something, he'll do it anyways, just to spite me. If I punish him, he resents me for it. But if I show him why it's wrong, at least he has reason not to do it again.
That's nonsense. Without laws, we're nothing more than animals. You look at Deke here.
Go to hell!
Man has worked hard at civilization. Your boy steps out of line, you whack him. He does it again, whack him harder.
You're a good man, Marshal, and I respect what you're trying to do. From what I've seen since I've arrived here, the law ain't really working.
Criminals are like weeds, Marston. Quick as you stomp one out, another one sprouts up in its place. It's the nature of places. You know that as well as I do.
The problem with laws is everybody ain't the same. Why should a bunch of rich university boys in the East...
Oh, God damn it! I ain't no use to you dead. I can't wait for you to meet the boys. You think you're a man, do you?
Come on, boys! Over the bridge!
Easy there.
John, you'll be exchanging the prisoner for Bonnie in the middle of town. Keep your eyes open. I sincerely doubt these scum plan to play fair.
Fair my ass.
You bet. Besides, Norm here's gonna be my shield, ain't you, Norm?
It'd be my pleasure.
Marston, lead Deke into town. Make sure you keep a gun on that son of a bitch.
I'm sure it's been nice for the boys to have a whore to play with. I hear those rancher girls like it in the rear. Maybe she won't want to go home. She's been fucked so good.
I'll go to the bathroom real quick. I gotta pee.
don't you save some of that breath for breathing?
Come on now, boys. Cut me loose.
Where's Bonnie? I thought we had a deal.
Well, you thought wrong. We don't make deals with the law.
Take cover!
I'd stay right there if I was you.
Gotta get the body before they kill her.
Someone come stitch me up.
I'm out of there. Got a case of buck.
Where is she, you bastards? Let's see what you got.
Follow me.
Get on the hell!
For Christ's sake. Sweet mother and
Let her...
To your face, then.
I'll blow you good if you keep scrapping with me.
You're about to get jumped.
Don't try to be something you're not. Bonnie, we're coming.
tell you what, mister. I'm gonna kill you quick.
Where's Bonnie, you son? I won't let you die, Bonnie.
You gonna respect
She's dead, boy.
Indians in here.
Boy ain't got no sense.
Where's Bonnie? I thought we had a deal.
Well, you thought wrong.
Oh my good God! Ambush! Get his cover! Quick! Find Bunny!
Rest in peace, my friend.
I see one of them. Can't take much more of this. Follow me!
Bonnie, where are you?
There he is.
Let her go, or I'll kill every last one of you. Bonnie, we're coming. I've dropped 100 fools like you. Leave her alone. Not bad. Bonnie, are you okay?
I'm fine now, Mr. Marston. Thank you. Thank you. What the hell took you so long, stupid man?
Well, you weren't exactly helping me.
Oh,
You
oops,
think
my
I'm gonna
mic
lower
was
myself
indeed
by making
muted.
a joke about being all
What's
tied
good,
up?
yo? How you doing? How
got
you
another
doing?
thing coming. Come on.
I'm doing well. We're killing some troublemakers, you know? Alright, let's round up all these bodies and all their goodies. Got any dead bodies in here? Nope.
Excuse me,
How about
partner.
you?
I ain't getting fresh.
I'm doing pretty well. I got today off of work, which is really nice. So we're just playing a couple of different games. We're playing this for a couple hours. until I get bored, and then we're gonna play maybe some like more Lies of P. I've been playing that. Might maybe get on some more like Vintage Story or something at some point. I got all kinds of like indie games I bought recently. So we got a bunch of games we can play, which is really awesome. Let's see. Anything in here? Any goodies in here? It's a random bed. Yeah, I played this probably somewhere around like 15 years ago, or something. And no, not at all. I'm just gonna be straightforward with you. My viewership tanked because I had to take 2 weeks off from doing 4 overnight shifts a week. So no, it's not really doing well at all, period. But that's okay. We continue. We just play. Like I've told you before, I just do this as a hobby. I don't really care if I like get big or something. Like, this is a hobby, and to have the mindset of I'm doing this to get big, I'm doing this to get famous is like, it's a horrendous mindset. It will drive people up the wall. I'm just here to have fun. And if one day what I do to have fun takes off, awesome. But yeah, if I do, cool. If not, it's okay. I don't really care in that way, if that makes sense. I think it's unhealthy too, and I'm just doing this for fun whenever I play games. And maybe one day it'll turn into a career or something, but I don't expect that. Yeah, exactly. Just get on, just have fun, just let things happen, do as you do. Let's see if there's anything up here.
Whoa there. Hey.
Yeah, hey, gotta pay my bills, right? That's the most important part. Is there anything in here? Anything to loot in this old abandoned building? Bueller? Oh, there's a basement? Well, this is interesting. Is there anything in here? Rockstar, you didn't put anything cool down here? Come on, man. What the heck? Okay, there's the horse. Good. Who shut those doors? Alright, let's see if there's anything in these other rooms before we ride out. Anything else? No. What is this, Dark Souls with all this shit? Come on. Nothing. Nothing. Nope. Huh. I guess there's nothing in this house. That's okay. Alright, where to next? That's the big question. There's that, there's that. Let's go to this Irish guy.
Come on.
I did, if you're still here, Hannah, I did figure something out a couple nights ago, though I need to buy a new phone stand in order for me to truly make this happen. But, I connected my phone to OBS, so that way I can use my, my phone as a camera now, which is really cool. So, like, a couple nights ago, it was, oh, let me exit out of this, though, no frame stutter. Boom, there we go. A couple nights ago, I did it while it was storming, and I was showing the storm, which was really cool. Dude, why is there frame stuttering right now? Why is it doing that? Okay, there we go. But yeah, so I can use my phone as a camera now, so I think at some point I might set that up so I can do camera streams, because I don't mind using a camera. The reason I don't right now is because this is a dog shit laptop camera that I have, and it just looks god awful ugly. Yes, but literally every single person who I was gonna do that with has quit streaming because life. So
They needed to be taught a lesson.
there we go. Cool. But yeah, I was, but every single one of those guys has quit streaming. Even Big Tex has been a little hit and miss with his stream schedule, because we're all just going through it with life, you know. Small viewer Andy things. So sadly, at the moment, I don't really have anybody I can do any collabs with.
Howdy, mister.
Maybe I'll watch some other small viewer Andys at some point, but I'm just not gonna lie. When I get on Twitch, I want to watch like S-Fan, Simply, Mizkif, Emaru, Liam, Clint, Wake, Neff, Soda, like all the people who I've been watching for like 10 years now. It's pretty rare for me to like click around and find like a small viewer Andy, which I get it. Same reason why probably a lot of people don't click on this one. Ooh, only $5 rent? That's cool. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a very go with the flow, let things happen kind of person. So I really don't like rush doing any like collabs or anything. I always bring it up to people, but it's up to them to take the initiative after I bring it up a couple times to like make the arrangements, you know? Like I offered Big Tex a couple times, hey, do you want to play Vintage Story with me? Hey, do you want to play Night Rain with me? And he's been playing with all his IRL friends, which that's totally fine, right? But hey, it just means no collab.
Let's go.
So I'm just here playing games. That's all I'm here for. I'm here to play games, you know? Play the game, stream it, see if people want to come watch a random game that I'm playing. I would love to channel, like... Do you watch... Let me ask, actually. Who do you watch on Twitch? Do you just watch smaller... like streamers and just hop around? Do you watch any like big names at all? Like who are people, who's the kind of people you watch on Twitch? Small, big, like just who and what? I'm curious.
Come on.
Because I'm always curious how different people use Twitch. Because I've been on this site for like 8 to 10 years now, something like that. I used to use it very casually in the 2010s, up until I made my account on New Year's 2019. Yeah, I did forget if we've talked about it before, because it's been a while. But yeah, see, I'm the other way. I mostly watch a lot of like the older names, but still big names like Moon, Asmongold, S-Fand, Soda Poppin'. Man, dude, I've known Soda Poppin' and Seer. I've been watching their content for over 10 years now. I like horror, classic, Mario. Oh, I assume that's Mario. And Sega? Ah, okay, gotcha. Yeah, I'm definitely a variety Andy for sure. I just like playing games. I want to get on a... Oh! Hey!
I don't cotton a horse swindling me.
Why you lost your damn mind?
He was awful rough to me. Why can't all men be like you?
You take care, lady. There might not be anyone around next time.
Yeah, sweet. Got $4 for saving the woman. Luxurianac, Biggest Caro. Oh my, yeah, I have never heard of any of those names. I'm assuming the first one, Zora Enic, is like
Yes, boy,
a Zelda streamer since it's Zora.
You little paddy bastard! You thieving McCunt!
You got it all wrong, Welsh. All wrong. It was French, I promise. He said he was going to rip you off. Now he's ripping me off. Here, keep on talking there, Iris. In about 15 more
I'll
seconds,
let
your whole
you
world's
know
all turned
whenever
black.
I'm ready for that, to be
up,
honest.
boys?
Like, I really tried to make that
Fuck off,
clear
boyo.
whenever
This don't
you came into
concern
the
you.
chat and offered it. Like,
When a man with a
I
sing-song
am
voice tells
just
me to fuck
deep
off, it
in
always
debt
concerns me,
and
boyo.
paying things off
Look
IRL.
here. This petty bastard
So,
stole our gun.
The,
Tried to
the,
steal our
the,
horses.
the level of,
Law's
like,
clear on the man.
importance for me for, like, buying art for my channel is just pretty low. And yeah, I can't stream that much.
Anyway, y'all got horses
And
now.
I'm gonna be
No one needs to
straightforward with you.
Leave 'em
I forget if it's August 1st or September 1st, but I'm
Boys,
losing
it's
my
really starting to
housing
get on my
contract here.
nerves,
Just
boyo.
hey, everybody's
And you're
moving,
getting on
right?
my
That's
nerves.
fine.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna be moving
You reckon
into
that
a
fool
spot.
Iris is worth that?
Shit, I missed entirely what's going on with this since we're talking. But yeah, just in a month or two, I'm gonna be like not homeless, but just like I'm gonna be living with family and not even able to stream for probably 3 months to a year. So just my desire to like put money into something like artwork for my channel is just very minimal right now. I sincerely apologize, but just it's not anything important because I'm probably not even going to be streaming in a few months. So it's just, yeah, life is life. This is why I've been streaming for over 5 years actually, but I just often have like 1 to 2 years that I can't stream because I just go through life things, right? So sadly, just I just do this for fun, which wraps around to what we were just talking about. I just pure and utter do this for fun. This is not a grind. This is not me trying to get big. I am here to play video games and have fun and just enjoy being online. Because I like the internet. I like doing this kind of stuff. And if it ever does turn into something big, awesome. But that's not anywhere on my radar because I already went through that whole mentality mindset, grind, when I was making music. And I know how unhealthy it is, how hard it is to roll the dice in the creative industries. It's just something random. But yeah, so I apologize. No art for a while. I will let you know when I'm ready for that on like Discord or something like that.
And boy! Don't worry, old child. This way. Ah! Now you gotta die, you bastard!
Brother, how did that guy take 3 shots?
Different.
Mr. Nigel West Dickens said you'd help me locate a machine gun. And since I just saved your life...
Oh, I can't thank you enough for taking care of those 2 degenerates. Untrustworthy, poor in personal hygiene, lacking in the finer qualities of a gentleman.
Ooh, nice.
It'd be my pleasure. She's magnificent, government issue. It'll be a bit of a ride, but we'll get there soon enough. Follow me, fella.
Let's get this over with. The saloon's calling me. Come on then, let's find this guy. What's your name, friend?
John! John Marston.
Stroke of luck you came along, fella. I thought I'd drunk me last breakfast there for a second.
Who were those fine specimens of humanity?
They was me only friends in the world. And boy, am I glad to see them bastards dead. We all met on the boat over a few years back, we did. Thick as thieves ever since, and that right there was the problem.
Is it normal for friends in Europe to drown each other?
Never trust a Welshman, me pa always told me. And he got his throat slit, so he should know. The kind of fellows who will steal an acorn from a blind sow and then kick her for squealing. And as for that French bastard...
He didn't sound very French.
Not for now. The thieving bastards are holed up at the cabin by the lake. Can't wait to see the look on their faces when we blast in there. They'll be more surprised than a slut dog with their first porcupine.
You best not be lying to me.
Listen, fella, I didn't ask for your help back there. I don't owe you nothing.
I'll decide what you do and don't owe me.
I've had enough of your overly aggressive manner, fella. You don't know who you're dealing with here.
Irish? I've met enough men like you to last me a lifetime. Two-bit slugs who think they're snakes. Come on!
You can make quick work of those fellas if they give you trouble. The gun's stored just inside that shack.
What about you helping me out?
I'll cover you from the ridge. I'm better from long range. It'll be a piece of cake, fella. Trust me.
That tenderfoot ain't gone slap no leather.
What the hell do you want? Back off now before I put a hole in your skull! God damn it! I'll kill you, you son of a bitch!
Case of buck fever?
You want more?
Oh, boy! Oh. You fight like a Mexican. Got a snake in the...
Oh, right there.
Oh!
And boom.
Someone might as well have this.
All right, let's see. Let's see.
You're mine now, you dumb bastard! Ain't your life worth living?
Thanks for the shotgun, buddy.
It's not here. That lying sack of shit.
What the fuck? I did all this for nothing.
This looks like the one. Come on.
Wait, I can just fast travel, can't I? Where is Irish? He's all the way over there? What the fuck? Okay. We'll go over to Seth then. Okay, not gonna lie though, I'm getting super hungry. I'm gonna put on an AFK video and go take my scooter to go get some food. I'll probably be back in like 20 minutes or so. We'll pause this. We'll put up some text.
The whole vertical versus horizontal handheld debate is a tale as old as time.
I've been playing through Animal Well, and I came across I've been playing through Animal Well, and I came across a new gaming term I hadn't heard before, Metroidvania. I find it ironic that the name of the genre itself is like something you would find in a Metroidvania, a word that makes no sense unless you've discovered the mental keys to decipher it. So what is that word, Metroidvania, anyway? Well, as many of you know, it comes from the term Metroidvania. Here's an example of a Metroidvania distilled to its most basic elements. You start with nothing, and much of the map is blocked off.
Bummer.
But you're able to pick up the flippers, which allow you to swim and grab the ice skates, allowing you to walk on ice and get the fire boots. And lastly, the suction cup boots. As you get more items, more of the map is unlocked, and eventually you're able to reach your goal. Of course, you'd be hard-pressed to find anyone who considers Chip's Challenge to be a classic Metroidvania game. Although Metroidvania titles can have items similar to the flippers, which allow passage through a hazard, most Metroidvania items are movement-based. Navigate downward through an intricate one-way maze, then get a wall climbing ability at the end so you can get out. Before long, you'll find something like a double jump or a glide or a charge, expanding your movement even further and allowing you to travel farther, higher, or faster. The maps are generally far more expansive as well, with rooms that loop back on each other so that when you find that special item you were looking for, backtracking is reduced. And when you do make it back to those early rooms, you may find a ledge that was once impossible to reach, or a corridor filled with spikes you had previously dismissed that's suddenly accessible with your new abilities, leading to fresh areas or hidden upgrades. And that's where most of the enjoyment comes from in a Metroidvania game, the realization that a once insurmountable problem is now solvable. A strange detail in the background is suddenly a useful part of the level. It can be particularly satisfying to practice those movement abilities and chain them together. Sometimes you can feel so overpowered and reach such extreme places, you almost feel like you're getting away with stuff the devs hadn't intended. Now, Metroidvania games are typically synonymous with 2D platforming adventures. In an alternate universe where Metroidvania was considered a broader genre, people could categorize something like, say, the traditional 3D Zelda games as Metroidvania games, since they gate progress in the world based on certain items, and they also reward backtracking with hidden areas after more items are obtained. Metroidvania games, however, tend to cover a far wider range of genres. puzzle games, 2D platformers, Zelda games, walking simulators. The surface gameplay between these games seems pretty varied, but it's the gameplay lurking underneath that unites these under one genre. Rather than just giving you physical keys or upgrades to the character, the keys in these games are nuggets of knowledge you've learned about the rules of that world. Greater understandings to help you.
Do you want to know what it is?
Okay, so you're right. Let's dive into some examples here, but we have to warn you.
This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back.
And this isn't just some bit. Metroidvania games are, by their very definition, best experienced knowing as little about them as possible. I'm going to be careful when I talk about these games, alright? I won't be talking about anything that would ruin the experience for a first-timer, so you should feel free to watch on. But if a game intrigues you, I encourage you to pause the video, leave a like and a sub, and come back when you're ready. Because when you hear people say things like, I wish I could erase my memory of this so I could do it again for the first time, these are the experiences they're talking about.
I don't want to remember nothing. Nothing. You understand?
I think most people would agree that the pinnacle of this genre is Outer Wilds. Essentially, you're a space explorer stuck in a time loop. It's up to you to figure out what's going on and how to fix it. One of this game's most notable features is the absence of any progress gates whatsoever. You know, when you want to go through a locked door, but you haven't found the key yet. In Outer Wilds, if you have those knowledge keys, meaning you understand the rules of the universe, what happened and why, you can wake up, do what you need to do, you can beat the game in about 10 minutes. I'm sure we've all wished we could do what Bill Murray does in this scene here from Groundhog Day, saying the perfect combination of things to get that exact outcome you want. And that's exactly what Outer Wilds allows you to do in that final loop.
I'm a god. I'm not the god. I don't think.
Unfortunately, this is a bit of a double-edged sword because it completely tanks the game's replayability, making for a game with one of the best first playthroughs ever and one of the blandest second playthroughs ever. There's still fun things you can do in the game just to goof around. I, for one, really enjoy the physics of the spacecraft, and trying to manually land on the sun station is a fun challenge. But at the end of the day, the real reason why you fell in love with the game, those revelations about the universe, the realization of what you have to do, and the cost of doing it, those epiphanies can never be experienced again. A game that balances replayability and revelations more evenly is The Witness. A big part of the game is also discovering the nature and rules of the world, but once you figure out the rules, the majority of the gameplay is just straight up doing puzzles. The other half of the game is completing the obelisks, and although these don't have replayability the same way the main puzzles do, you can still get a similar effect just by marathoning the game for 6 hours and then taking a walk outside. In a way, the obelisks are just training your mind to think that way anyway. I can tell you firsthand, The Witness is far more replayable than Outer Wilds. I've 100%ed it at least 10 times. Being available on phones makes it a great train or bus game, and for PC, there's a randomizer mod that basically gives this game infinite replayability, although the Metroidvania aspects of the experience will have long faded away by that point. Return of the Obra Dinn is a good example of what a Metroidvania is not. In the game, you deduce the names and fates of the 60 people once aboard the Obra Dinn. I love this game, and I'd recommend it to anyone. But the things you learn throughout your journey are not mechanical in nature. You might learn new ways to identify people that you hadn't thought of when you first started.
My goodness, what an idea. Why didn't I think of that? Hammocks!
But those revelations don't unlock new areas or anything like that, they just fill out the book. Progress is dictated by which vignettes you've watched, not your knowledge of game mechanics. Replayability can be a bit of a slog with Obra Dinn as well, but for the exact opposite reason as Outer Wilds. Too many progress gates. It's worth saying that not every game needs to have replayability. I wouldn't change a thing about Outer Wilds or Obra Dinn, and I think they completely accomplished what they set out to do. But when games as special as these come along, you want to have a reason to revisit them. I guess therein lies the question for aspiring devs looking to make their own Metroidvania. How do you make your game worth revisiting while still keeping the magic intact from that first playthrough? The answer is you don't go full Metroidvania. I think one game that manages to capture this really well is Fez, or as my daughter calls it, Paper Towel Man. The game at its core is a 2D platformer. At least, it's what you spend the majority of your time doing. So going back and replaying it for that gameplay is a good enough reason. But the Metroidvania elements of the game are extremely memorable, and the puzzles are complex enough that if you return to the game after a few years, you'll be getting out your pen and paper all over again. The starting area alone has so many little details for people who understand those hidden mechanics. Rooms hidden from the original 2D plane are barren, walls contain secret information that only someone with a Fez could see, things that seemed like set dressings are actually meticulously detailed puzzles hidden in plain sight. It's great. That being said, one of the biggest flaws Fez has is that despite having the knowledge to continue, some of those codes and secret messages you're looking for to apply your knowledge are only visible with the sunglasses, which are only obtainable after completing a playthrough on that save. In other words, without using external guides, you have to complete the bad ending to get the good ending. The sunglasses introduce an unnecessary progress gate. If there were some way to get the sunglasses early, either through finding them in a chest or obtaining a certain amount of anti-cubes, I think it would make the whole experience smoother for players who already have those knowledge keys unlocked in their mind. You know, something to think about for the release of Fez 2. Now this is something that Tunic, a very similar game to Fez in its Metroidvania elements, manages to rectify. Just like in Fez, you need to gather every piece of a MacGuffin to get the true ending. But here, it's possible to complete just using the knowledge you get along the way. You choose the bad ending or the good ending, you aren't forced to do one to get the other. Just like how Fez front-loads a lot of its 2D platformer elements, Tunic front-loads a lot of its Zelda elements, then reveals its Metroidvania secrets in the back end. And like any good Metroidvania game, you had that power within you the whole time, even if you start a new save. And that unlocked knowledge adds additional depth to a second playthrough. And that's mostly where I think Animal Well resides as well. Just like how Tunic is a Zelda game with a Metroidvania undercurrent, or Fez is a 2D platformer with a Metroidvania undercurrent, Animal Well is a front-loaded Metroidvania with a Metroidvania undercurrent. In fact, Animal Well leans far more heavily into the Vania than the Brainia. Even in the first few hours, this has some hardcore jumping in it that is manageable for a pro gamer, such as myself, but that I wouldn't dare recommend to most people I know. Many of the puzzles in this game don't involve secret codes or languages, but are skill-testing movement challenges, closer to something you might find with the strawberries and secret hearts in Celeste. Based on the buzz surrounding this game, I was expecting something even closer to Tunic, where the controls have hidden uses, and then you get additional items as you go. Although there are Easter eggs in Animal Well that can turn you into the Fox from Tunic or Gomez from Fez, that's nothing like the gameplay impact of Tunic's Cross. Rather, I think Animal Well starts you off with absolutely nothing, no secret moves at all, and then the items you get each have special secrets. Some of these secrets are surface level, perhaps even taught to you during gameplay, whereas other secrets are obtuse enough that you'd be more likely to learn about it on a community forum. Which brings me to the final aspect of the Metroidvania genre, and perhaps the most controversial: community collaboration. All of the Metroidvania games I've mentioned so far have had some sort of community collaboration associated with them. I mean, hey, if a game is about finding secrets, it's perfectly natural for people to want to share those secrets with each other and see if they missed anything, or search for major secrets together. On the more innocent end of the spectrum, we've got something like The Witness. If you were stuck in a room with no internet and you couldn't leave until you 100%ed the witness, you could probably do it. Most of the community collaboration with that game comes with the non-gameplay related aspects, like the philosophy surrounding the game, the various visual Easter eggs, stuff like that. Where it starts to get controversial is when certain gameplay secrets require community collaboration to be completed. Of the games I covered in this video, Fez is definitely the most guilty here. There's this block puzzle which requires you to spell out a certain word, but the solution is extremely obtuse and requires like a corkboard. I mean, seriously, if anyone got this without a guide or help, I'd love to know. The other offending puzzle is this stupid monolith, which literally has no solution. Basically what happened was the answer was brute forced by the community a day after the game's release, and to this day, the devs won't reveal the intended way the puzzle should be solved. Who knows, perhaps it was an ARG that was cancelled after the solution was brute forced, but, you know, whatever. A puzzle with no solution after 10 years, that's not a mystery, it's just a bad puzzle. I say this because Fez is a game that's otherwise full of great mysteries. You've got things like a secret message on the wall that leads to the coordinates of a triangular field in real life, or the soundtrack with a series of deliberately chosen images hidden in the audio, or these squares, these concentric squares hidden on the floor, one of which requires development tools to even see. I mean, these are great mysteries. Are they Easter eggs? Are they for the monolith? Are they just an elaborate troll? I mean, come on, man, it's been 10 years. Give us something.
No.
Curses and cranberries!
My biggest argument against puzzles requiring community collaboration is just how poorly solutions age. When the game first comes out and you realize you need help on a puzzle and you search online and you realize, oh my god, no one has solved this yet, and what? People are working together to solve it? I mean, that's an incredible rush. And for the 50 or so people who solve it together for the first time, it must be one of the greatest highs of their lives, an unforgettable experience. For the hundreds of thousands of people who come after, it's nothing more than following a tutorial on a forum post. And don't tell me you're not going to read that post. For someone to solve it fresh years later, they'd have to look it up, see that the puzzle has been solved and requires people to work together, then intentionally hide all mentions of the solution, find a group of intelligent people who are also willing to hide all mentions of the solution and work with you, and then solve it. It's just not gonna happen. And in my opinion, it completely goes against the philosophy of a Metroidvania, because you're being robbed of the epiphany. You have to look up a guide. I don't think community collaboration is bad. I just think that if you're going to have puzzles in your game that require outside help, you need to find a way to signal that to the player in some way. Animal Well is not nearly as guilty of this as a game like Fez, but I think it's a problem developers should think about for people who prefer not to use a guide and then are left frustrated when they're unable to get the true ending. You can help me achieve my true ending by liking and subscribing. I'm a small part-time creator who would love to have more time in the day to make videos. Liking, subscribing, and sharing helps me to do that. And if you want to share your experience with any of these lovely games, or if you have a better name to replace Metroidvania, I'd love to hear it in the comments below. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
What am I supposed to do? I gotta chop this? Do I? Oh, come on. Wear the sock. Yeah, I could do that. Peel a banana. Okay, yeah, I got this. What? Do I gotta put this whole thing together? How do I? Damn it. Draw. What do I gotta draw? I can't think of anything to draw. Oh, heck yeah, I can handle that. You've got to be kidding me.
Wow.
Oh, hey, I didn't see you there. Welcome to the Dusty Game Society, where we cast aside the over-budgeted, over-bloated, overburdened, over-boring world of modern games and go back to a simpler time, when games were made by small teams of passionate gamers who wanted to share their love of gaming with the world. When games didn't give a crap if they were so hard you'd be likely to rage quit and run home crying to yo mama. These are the games that call to us, the Dusty Games. I'll tell you more about the DGS at the end of the video, but now we have a game to play. A game that feels like it crawled out of the chaos dimension just to give your brain a wedgie. I'm talking about the one and only WarioWare Inc. Mega Micro Games on the Game Boy Advance. I didn't play this game back when it came out. I was too cool for WarioWare. Just kidding. I was never cool. No, my first WarioWare was WarioWare Touched on the DS back in college. And holy crap, that game was so my jam. I played it during class. I played it on the bus. I once actually walked into a street lamp while playing this. True story. It was my first taste of Wario's brand of bite-sized chaos, and it totally scrambled my brain in the best way. I don't know why it's taken me this long to getting around to playing the first game in the WarioWare series, but I'm kinda glad it took me this long, because I got to play it with my friends in the Dusty Game Society. It was like a shared hallucination. I'm pretty sure that none of us emerged quite the same. If you're not familiar with WarioWare, it's not like other games. It's not even like weird games. It's completely its own thing. It's like if you crammed a bunch of mini games into a blender and sprinkled in some Saturday morning cartoons, some super Japanese Mario charm, and slammed the Go Faster button on the blender. My blender has a Go Faster button. Does yours? And somehow it's amazing. WarioWare is built around not mini games but micro games. Little 3-second bursts of gameplay that are over before your brain has a chance to catch up. It's like speedrunning a fever dream. 1 second you're plucking a nose hair, the next you're dodging oncoming cars, and then you're playing a bootleg version of Donkey Kong with a single button, and if you can't keep up, there's no mercy for you. This GBA game is the very first WarioWare, the one that started it all, but it didn't stop there. There's also WarioWare Twisted on the Game Boy Advance that has gyro controls, WarioWare Smooth Moves with the Wii Remote flailing, and there's WarioWare Gold, which is like the ultimate greatest hits. The series is like that one weird kid in class who's eating glue but still gets straight A's. Unpredictable, genius, and a little bit sticky. I played this on my Retroid Pocket 5, by the way, because I'm fancy like that. And when I say played, I mean I tried to play, but I usually failed and shed tears of frustration and self-loathing. And you will too. That's kind of what this game does to you. It's part of the fun. This is usually the part of the review where I talk about the story. And story is a strong word for what's going on here. At least on the surface, it feels pretty bare bones, but there's actually more depth here than there seems at first. It starts with Wario, you know, the bad guy Mario, and he decides to cash in on the video game industry. He starts his own game company, WarioWare Inc., to make his own games. And honestly, that's the kind of entrepreneurial energy that I aspire to. I've been trying to find a way to monetize my love of root beer. I keep promoting A&W in the hopes that they'll pay me someday. Oh, hey, A&W, if you're watching this, have your people call my people. My mom. Have your people call my mom. And the game very loosely conveys that Wario ropes in a bunch of weirdos to help make the games. Each of them runs their own set of micro games. A whole bunch of colorful characters like Jimmy T, the disco guy, Mona, the pizza slinging scooter girl, Dribble and Spitz, the space taxi driving dog and cat duo, and 9Volt. He's my favorite. He's basically me as a kid. Obsessed with retro games. There's not a lot of actual plot here, but every character gets a little intro cutscene and some really nice animated sequences to add flavor. Spicy flavor. Gameplay is where this game shines like a greasy nerd's sweaty forehead. Each microgame lasts about 3 seconds. You get one word or phrase like dodge or pick, and then bam, you're in it. No tutorial, no warm-up, just vibes and chaos. It's a test of your raw gamer instinct and reflexes, and maybe caffeine intake. There's tons of these little games, over 200 micro games here. Some are puzzly, solvey, some are dexterity challenges, some are reflex based, some are just weird. 1 second you're guiding a finger into a nostril, and the next you're playing a one-button version of Balloon Fight. You'll miss like 80% of them your first time and wonder what just happened. And then you'll try again and again and again. Eventually, the games you failed at will become familiar and you'll know what to do. And you'll feel unstoppable. Except just when things get easy, each character's stage ramps up in speed the longer you go. And if you mess up, if you miss 4 times, you're out. It's like a carnival game where the carny laughs at you every time you fail. just like real life. But when you're in the zone, oh man, it's glorious. Nailing game after game, and it keeps getting faster and faster, and your eyes and brain are in overdrive, and your hands are shaking, and you're just scared to blink. That's the kind of manic energy that only WarioWare can give you. It's kind of magical. Also, there are boss stages that are a little longer and more complex. These boss stages are like your little end-of-level rewards for not being terrible. Graphically, the game looks weird, but in the best way. Like you. The art style changes constantly. One game might look like classic NES, and the next might look like a poorly drawn sketch on a napkin. There's pixel art, there's claymation style renders, there's actual photos of real people. It's like an art class's year-end project gallery exploded, and Nintendo stole the chaos and crammed it onto a GBA cartridge. Also, every character's stage has its own visual vibe. Jimmy T's games are all disco themed, and Mona's have a fast food vibe. 9 Volts are full of Nintendo nostalgia. I mean, it's not that anyone would look at a single screenshot from this game and call it quote unquote good graphics. Not traditionally, but it's creative as heck, and it keeps you guessing, and it makes every second visually interesting, or at least visually confusing, which is sometimes even better. The sound is the icing on the spaghetti. These beats and bleeps and bonks are just pure chaos fuel. It's goofy and energetic, but there is a rhythm to the madness, and that helps you get in the groove and the timing of the games. And there's lots of flavor here too. Each character has a unique theme song. Jimmy T's is disco, 9 Volts is chiptune beeps, and Wario's sounds like a carnival from the underworld. The sound effects are crunchy and cartoony and completely ridiculous. And when Wario's voice taunts you with those gross little laughs, it's like being heckled by a goblin. Or seduced. I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Also, some of the micro games use classic Nintendo sound effects, like the coin chime from Mario or the Link sword slash, and as a retro dork, that gives me a happy little brain tingle. Overall, the audio is just as unpredictable and unhinged as the visuals, and they go hand in hand together, and I think it's basically essential to enjoying the game fully. Definitely the kind of game you want to play either with headphones on, or so loud that the whole house is shaking and the neighbors can hear it 4 doors away. The biggest downside is how short it is. You can beat all the character stages in like 2 hours. It's not the end of your fun with the game. There's replay value. You're supposed to try to beat your high scores and unlock extra modes and extra games like these fun little 2-player games, a boss rush mode. But if you're looking for like a traditional game story with narrative arcs and emotional growth, you've walked into the wrong garlic-scented basement, my friend. Also, it's not for everyone. If you don't like the randomness, or if you get overwhelmed easy, the frantic pace might be a turnoff. Just for a laugh, I fired this up on my RP5 and I shoved it in my mom's hand and said, "Hey, try this weird game." She lasted about 30 seconds, literally yelled, "I don't understand this," and handed it back to me like it was haunted. But these are minor gripes. The game knows exactly what it is, and if you're here for what it is, you're gonna be in for a good time. Also, WarioWare isn't just a goofy one-off. It's a piece of video game history. It also kicked off a whole franchise that's still going today. Without this game, we wouldn't have WarioWare Touched, or Smooth Moves, or WarioWare Gold, or Get It Together, and we'd all be a little less weird and joyful inside. And for retro nerds like me, and probably you if you've watched this far, this game is a reminder of how innovative the GBA era was. This was a huge swing, and somehow this bizarre experiment worked. And I'm proud that I get to share it with you, and that I got to share it with the fine dweebs of the Dusty Game Society. Speaking of which, the DGS isn't a one dweeb show, and we had a ton of fine nerds playing this together last month. I have 24 reviews to share with you, so let's fly through these in classic quickfire WarioWare fashion. The Shibushi had another first with the DGS with this game. Felt like the kid version of themselves would have loved this. Compared it to a bunch of little phone games all jam-packed into a GBA game cartridge, and overall had a blast. Mount Riley 1709 beat the game for the first time, actually tried playing this on their projector, which is just crazy to me, in a good way. General Lee finds WarioWare to jive well with their ADHD brain and was smiling the whole time they played this. Had a hoot playing this series again. Sconage loved how funny the game was and how the short burst minigames activated his monkey brain and constantly wanted to just get back to mashing the A button. And then his partner stole his Game Boy. This was Echo Quincy's first time playing a game with the DGS, and had fun with the quick, snackable, intuitive minigames perfect for some quick pick-up-and-play gaming. Gact is another new DGS member, and says that this was one of their favorite games back in the day and blasted right through it. Lots of laughs and loads of smiles. That's what I like to hear. This is Space Case's first WarioWare game, and it was a blast. Love the variety, the music, the humor, and the quote-unquote story. Monkey484 is another new member of the Dusty Game Society, been playing games since the 80s, and says this might be the weirdest gaming experience that they've ever had. Enjoyed it a lot, but says that the anxiety-inducing frenetic pace made this game almost exhausting to play at times. Jot and hated the game, just wanted to be done with it. 8 out of 10 middle fingers. Scott beats WarioWare on every handheld they own and loves putting their device in sleep mode so they can whip it out in public places. I'm right there with you. Phalanax, which I assume is a name referencing the SNES game, is a first-timer in the DGS and played this game on their Zazbizzle, and enjoyed playing some two-player games by themselves because they have no friends. And boy, can I relate to that. Airzonk was thrilled the DGS gave them an excuse to finally try the first GBA game. Pure fun from the get-go, super creative, and felt like they were experiencing the dawn of the indie games movement. Gentle Ent, who I assume found the game way too hasty, finally gave this a try for the first time despite growing up with the GBA. It was punchy and silly, and the soundtrack was an absolute bop. Falling Star 55 had a blast with this one and even played all the two-player games and says they were fun. Kamimoto125 played this and Smooth Moves for the Wii and says you should play this if you want to feel as silly as possible. Monkey Jar thought it was good for a few minutes of quick fun, but missed that there wasn't any normal game progression. This was King Droogy's first game with the DGS, and they 100%ed the game just to make me look like a chump, probably. Says it's about as creative and weird as you can get with just the D-pad and the A button. Dusty Cruckler says that this is the first game they've beaten in the DGS. Finally! Laughed out loud more than once, had a blast with the game, and tagging along with the other DGS members. This is my IRL buddy Zen, who is the biggest Nintendo nut that I've ever known. Says WarioWare grabs a hold of your curiosity so you'll want to discover everything it has to offer, and says the GBA game that started it all is the perfect entry point because it embodies the spirit of the series perfectly. Thanks for joining us, nerd. Rixpa played this and WarioWare Twisted and played through WarioWare Touched on the 3DS, which was the one they had the most fun with, and wants to see a new mobile version of this franchise because they think the gameplay would translate perfectly. Nintendo, are you listening? Rixpa knows what's up. Krills Wilson had fun handing this to their co-workers at lunch break, with no explanation and watching them short circuit over the badness. Gave it 9 out of 10 bananas thrown at the cops. This was All Our Tech's first time playing a WarioWare game, and they had a ton of fun. Eloquently says it's like rapidly switching between Game & Watch games while dropping acid. I assume. Aston says WarioWare is awesome and the whole series is great for pick up and play, like when they're rewatching TechTweet videos or hiding from grass and sunlight and adult responsibilities. And last but not least, Strathclyde is here with their first DGS review. Had a blast, liked unlocking stuff and shooting for high scores, astutely recognized that this game uses lots of Wario Land 4's sound palette, and gave it 9 out of 10 come on doggy, which I assume is good. And that's it. That's all I have for you today. All we have for you today, I should say. A taste of WarioWare, but a taste isn't enough. You need the whole 12-course meal. So you should go get yourself a copy of the game or play it on your retro emulation doodad of choice to get in on this utter madness, if you want to. Or if you don't, then you shouldn't. But what you should do is listen to me tell you about the Dusty Game Society. This is a retro gaming club, like a book club, that I run as a perk for my patrons.
Oh, what wonderful timing, Snake. I just got back and ate a burger. So we're all... apologies. Ugh. We're all good. We just had some food. Oh, and Dawn got here. Excellent timing, friends. Excellent timing. For the gaming is just about to begin again. Okay.
Let's go.
How's everybody doing? I just had a burger, so I am much better now that I had some food. What the? What's this symbol? Map. Movie house. Interesting. Oh yeah, Dawn. I got it like about a week ago because it was on, maybe more like 2 weeks ago. But there was a sale on Steam where Red Dead Redemption 2 was on sale, and if you got the bundled, going to sleep just thought, let's check Crump. Nice. But yeah, I bought this as a 2-for-1 deal on Steam because it was on sale. So I got this and Red Dead Redemption 2 for the same price, for $50, which that's worth it. Both these games for $50, easy.
Dear, oh dear.
Much appreciate you for coming by, though.
Always late, that man.
Everything all right, madam?
It's Miss. Oh. Oh, let me look at you. My gentleman caller. You remind me of my Peter. Have you seen him?
I don't think so.
Where is that man? We'll be late for the ceremony. He must...
Oh yeah, I was meaning to do this. We're going to... Interface? Where's the show FPS? I always forget where that is. Notifications, no inner system, general. Dude, I don't understand why people are like that in MMOs. People are just, they're so weird. That's honestly why I don't play them that much. Where is display FPS Steam? Go to Steam, go to in-game, go to in-game FPS counter off. Okay.
Still be at the saloon and all.
Here, I'll just pause so I can talk and then we can listen. But yeah, dude, I don't understand why people in MMOs do that all the time, because the same thing happened in World of Warcraft a lot, where people would like join a guild and then like secretly like quit and then go to another guild and lie about why they're leaving. And it's like, dude, it's just a game. Like, just tell people. Like, it's fine. Like, it's a fucking game. It's not your job. Like, what are you doing?
Dillo talking to the musicians. He's such a fine man.
So
must be making
I don't
things
get why
right
people
for
do
me,
that shit.
as usual.
Well, I gotta get going, ma'am. I'm sure your Peter will be just fine.
Wait, I beg you.
Wait.
Would you possibly go fetch him for me? This was meant to be my perfect day. Please, sir. Something must have happened. I can't bear it.
Oh, fucking old ladies, man.
You want me to go find your Peter so you can have a perfect day?
Yes, please, sir.
I'll see what I can do.
Oh.
Yep, very human behavior. Talk to the musician in Armadillo Saloon about Pete's whereabouts. Okay. Honestly, I kind of feel like playing Lies of P. I think we're going to switch it up, and we're going to play some Lies of P for a little bit. But yeah, dude, so like, I don't understand why people do that. So like, if everybody from your team is secretly applying to that other team, and all the leadership and everything is going over there anyway, why didn't they just cut a deal to merge? Why don't you just merge? It's an MMO. Play with more people. Like, I don't understand why people are so selfish in MMOs. It will never be something I understand. It makes absolutely no sense. Oh, it's a snake.
That's it. Lie down.
Dude,
This is dirty.
Ah, of course, yes. One of the very famous guilds and groups that do that, and then what did they do? They killed the very game that they love by doing that. It's so stupid. Okay, we're gonna save one more time. Since we just got that rabbit meat. And then I think we're going to play a little bit of Liza P. Or maybe Animal Well or something. I don't know. I'm feeling something else. Liza P. He said P. Oh yeah, let's do a couple things real quick. Let's change set title, Killing Puppets, set game, Liza P.